I gave that away. I gave that away. I forgot which camera I was going to start on. Hello, everyone. Hello. I will explain. I see a question in the chat. I will explain exactly what this photo is of in a moment for today's dialogue inspiration. But I do want to give a moment for things to start up, and I want to double check. I'll explain. I see a question. Aha! Audio is working. It's always good to do one final check, because before I go live, everything was working, and then sometimes everything is working until it doesn't work anymore, and then that is stressful. So yes, today is all going to be about rainbows. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to wait like one more minute, and then I'll go into my introduction, as the face cam is like, oh no, I must blur you. You're moving too much. I can't focus when you move too much. You must sit perfectly still. I will get used to this at some point, I promise. But oh, I want to make sure I've got totally my iPad, clearly, to bring up to me on the counter, so then I can see the chat when I'm up there. And good, it is muted. Very, very good. But yeah, making sure that the notification went out, and then I will hop on in. Yes, okay, I see the notification on my phone. So hello everyone, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and welcome to the June 2021 ChemKnits Dialogue live stream. This month is all about rainbows. I think that this was probably not a surprise. Every June I like to pull a rainbow photo, and I always make some kind of donation, and I'll talk more about our fundraiser that I have joined today. But first, what is the ChemKnits Dialogue? Every month I pick a new inspiration photo, and then in this live stream I will dye some yarn inspired by that. And I invite all of you to dye yarn at home along with me, whether you're inspired by the same inspiration photo, which happens to be food coloring in some glass jars with light shining through, which I thought was pretty appropriate for me. But so you can dye some yarn inspired by the same photo, share it with me on Instagram with the hashtag ChemKnitsDialogue, or reply to the inspiration photo on my public Facebook page, and then I'll pull as many pictures as I can to include in the live stream recap that'll come out in early to mid-July. And last June, the participation was awesome, and so I'm hoping that you guys will be as excited to join me today. And yeah, so I'm very, very excited. And but before I talk more about the photo and the project, I do want to talk a little bit about the fundraiser that I have joined today. So you may, yeah, so I have joined YouTube's Give with Pride fundraiser for tonight, which is a fundraiser for the Trevor Project, an organization that does crisis intervention for LGBTQ and questioning youth. And as a parent, this is an organization that we support every year, but it's really important to me because I hope that my kids understand that I will accept and love them, whoever they are, and I'm here to listen. But I want to make sure that other kids have a safe place and someone to talk to. And so if for any reason my kids are afraid to talk to me, then there is a place that I can support where there will be a safe space and someone that will listen. And I think that that is so unbelievably important. And so I'm really excited to join with this fundraiser. You might notice instead of a super chat button at the bottom of the chat, there is a donation button. And so YouTube is actually covering all of the payment processing fees. So 100% of your donation will go to the Trevor Project. And YouTube is actually matching the first $250,000 from this fundraiser. So there's a total at the bottom of the screen, which I can't see on my iPad. I want to like see, there's a total raised that should be like just below the chat on the page, which I guess I can't see from my end. There is a total down where I lost my, okay. Yeah, there's a total down there. And so you can see that, I mean, I'm not the only like YouTube channel participating in this. This is sort of like an open thing that other YouTubers can join, but I had already actually made a donation to Trevor Project directly through their website and then figured out how to join this. And so I didn't realize YouTube's matching it. So that makes the donation go that much further. And I am really, really excited about it. Oh, Jeremy Pierce, thank you so much for donating to the Trevor Project. Thank you. And I did double check through YouTube, and they will send you an email receipt if you track your donations for tax purposes. And the way that YouTube does this, they have a nonprofit that is called Network for Good that collects the money for YouTube, and then they will distribute it to the Trevor Project. And yes, so I checked all that and confirmed that you do get an email receipt. But if you do want to, oh, I should double check that I do have the link. Yes, I have a link to the Trevor Project in my video description. If you would like to donate directly to the Trevor Project through their website, or if you want to donate anonymously, you don't have to have your name pop up in the chat. Those are options as well. But I figured, like, since I really want to like honor and respect and support Pride Month, and so that's a reason why I like to just, you know, if we can help kids, like that's really, really important. And so yeah, and then I guess while I am here on the screen, if you would like to find LGBTQ makers, yarn dyers, and designers, you can go to, and I have this linked down below as well, but there's the Quiet Queers, what is it, they also have, you can go to their Quiet Queers Craft Along, and they have in their highlights on their Instagram, but also if you go to their website, you can find a list of designers, so that way you can support makers who do identify as LGBTQ during Pride Month. And so I figured that, yeah, I wanted to be able to share those resources. And Kalani Clifton, thank you so much for donating to the Trevor Project. Thank you. Don Jans, thank you so much for donating to the Trevor Project. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is really, really near and dear to my heart. My children are very, very young, but yeah, it's just, I really think it's important to support kids. And I just wanted to, I guess another thing I wanted to say is that the, sorry, I'm tearing up. Oh, Anonymous, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm getting emotional. If I am more than happy, if you want to, I mean, the dye-along, I picked a rainbow spectrum of color. So it's not specifically the Pride flag, but if there are other Pride flags that you would like to dye yarn based of, feel free to submit those to me as well. I don't market any of the yarn that I dye as Pride yarn just because I don't want to specifically take that away from people who are part of the LGBTQ community. But I want to feature as many artists and things as I can. And I thought that I would just share I crocheted this Buy Pride flag this year for someone that I care very, very much about. And while I didn't film a video on Instagram and on Facebook, I do have approximate recipes that I did for these colors. So if that's something that you're interested in, I did put all that in there in addition to just like, I mean, this was a very simple pattern that I kind of made up. And so I have that there as well, if that's something that you are interested in. Jeremy, thank you. I'm like, oh man, I just, you know, really, really hope that like my boys know that I will always be here for them, you know? And so, and I want them to know that before they even need to wonder, you know, and sorry, this, yeah, but let's go back to our picture. Is not where I need to go. Okay. So the inspiration photo, as I mentioned, these are glass vials that have water with food coloring in them and then a light shining through. And the photo credit goes to Joyce McCown. And they have some other, just like in this series, gorgeous, gorgeous images of the way the light is coming through these jars. And look at the way that this rainbow is just blending because of the way, like, I don't even know. I just think that it is so cool. I don't know if those lines are edited or like if it's just like this rainbow shadow. There are a lot of really awesome pictures in this series. And so, yeah, but I wanted one that I could fit into a square. So that's why I went with this one. No, we like, yeah. We just got the Everyone is Awesome Lego set that I just want to build and have up in like the living room as just like another, like, just, you know, my kids and their friends can know that it's a safe space here. So yeah, the way that the light comes through the vials is awesome. So because it was food coloring, I thought today that we would start this dye-along with two different food coloring projects. One using Wilton Colorite, a liquid food coloring system, and then one using Kool-Aid packets because it's fun and they're a rainbow of color. And the reason why I decided to start with food coloring this time is that starting to dye your own yarn, I feel like food coloring is the most accessible way to do it because I'm personally comfortable dyeing food coloring with my cooking pots and pans in my kitchen because everything that I'm using is food safe. Tonight, I'm going to happen to use my dedicated dye equipment because I like my dedicated dye equipment and stuff. So everything I'm using tonight is dedicated for dyeing yarn and it's not something I use for food. But in general, I am more than comfortable doing this without my dedicated dye equipment. I just think that if we finish these two projects and I have not crashed, then I will go and get some acid dyes and we'll do some more of that. But I do have a number of rainbow yarn dyeing videos featuring acid dyes. And last month's dye along, I think I did like a traditional rainbow, a like more muted jewel tony type rainbow, and a neon rainbow, and a bunch of different like speckly kind of techniques. And it was so, well, I love dyeing rainbows so much, so much. So I just want to try to make it as easy for someone to join in. And the techniques that I'm doing with food coloring translate to acid dyes as well. So I thought that that was, that would be really, really fun. And thank you all so, so much. Okay, let's see. I now have to, nope, that was not the right rainbow one. Okay. And one more thing that I would be like, that I should mention because I am a stash enabler. Knit Picks and We Crochet, which is the more crochet focused company from the same brand. They are having a summer sale that's going from now through mid-July, but through the 20th of June, more than 50 Bare yarns are 25% off. And so I do have affiliate links down in the video description. There's obviously no pressure to use that, but I do earn commission for referring, and I use a lot of their yarns. And so yeah, I have a whole other video where I talk about the sale and stuff, but I did just want to mention it because it is a great way to get some bare yarn at a even better price than normal. Single camera, here we go. And I'm so glad I have this. Super for Kids Choices is beautiful. Yeah, I just, yes, you know, I am, and I just hope that, like, you know, if I say something, then maybe that helps someone feel more comfortable. You know, oh man, I hope that this next generation has it really great. Okay, so I can see chat, so that way if the audio goes out, I should be able to see that, which is really good. I've got my rainbow, making sure the camera's working. Yes, it is. I have my rainbow of Kool-Aid right here, but I'm actually going to start, I think, with doing something semi-self-striping. Oh, I forgot. So we're going to start with Wilton Color Right. But, oh shoot, did I not pull up the image? I did not. I need to get the image. No, I need a new image. Rose. June. Here we go. Okay, here is some color mixing from Wilton Color Right. And I am going to use this guide to help me mix the colors so we can create a rainbow that is somewhat close to the inspiration photo up there. And okay, I don't think, if I do need my respirator mask, then I'm going to take off the headband so I don't break it. But yeah, so I think I'm going to probably use a combination of the crimson, which is just that red 40 in the lower left corner. And then I will use the base pink for some of those red 3s, probably the orange and yellow, and the blue I might add a little bit of pink too. Actually, no, the blue on its own might be pretty good. So yeah, we're going to get up and we're going to mix colors and see how close we can get to the hues that we want. But I might just pop this down here. Oh, but I won't see it when I go to the single camera. That's okay. I can pull it back up if I need to. But yeah, we're going to start with some self-striping yarn. And self-striping's in quotes a little bit because, well, I'll get there as I make a mess. Okay. I'm saying self-striping in quotes. Am I on camera? Yes. Just because it is a 6-meter skein that I got from Wool to Die For. Okay, that is full of vinegar. And so it's a 6-meter skein, and it may not, with 6 colors, be enough to give full stripes, but in Die Pot Weekly number 200, I do a very, very similar technique using Kool-Aid to create a self-striping kind of rainbow with one of these long skeins. And so I recommend that you go and check that out. And then you can see a swatch now, but I will do a swatch of this. I always try to do a swatch when I go for something more striping. But I'm going to add a little bit more water to this. I just added 2 tablespoons of vinegar and just some more water to this pan so that way it can be acidic and ready to go for when we add our colors onto the yarn. And now I need cups, which I was planning on setting up in advance. But alas, I got something in it. No, we're fine. So since I'm using dedicated dye stuff, none of the things I'm using tonight are used for the preparation of food. But as I said, I am personally comfortable. I'm going to move this. Nope, that's not what I needed to move. This guy. I am personally comfortable using cooking pots and pans for with food coloring. And let's get some water. It's like always sniffing things to see if there was already acid in there. With food coloring, I don't like to add acid to my dye mixtures because I don't like to do that because by adding acid to the various mixtures themselves, the water looks yellow. What? No, I think it's my imagination. I don't like to add the acid directly to, oh dear, to the dyes because some colors like red 3 will start to crash out of solution with acid. And so it's just something to keep in mind. So I've got about half a cup. It's hard to pour. When I brought this over, I didn't consider that. I'm adding half a cup of tap water to each of these jars. And then on a 100-gram skein, I feel like these color tests that I did before were on either, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. I feel like I did them on image. Is it this one? It is. Okay, I'll bring this down here so I can see it. I can't remember if I did this. It looks like it may have been on 20-gram skeins, but I can't remember exactly, and that's bothering me a little bit. But I do know how many drops of food coloring I used. And I am going to get gloves just so that way I don't completely stain my hands. Oh dear. I may have a pot precariously put on. Ew. Oh no, it's fine. It's just the glove like discolored itself. Because I guess it was sitting. That's weird. It was like underneath a jar, but it shouldn't matter. Okay, so that is not all my colors. Here we go. Okay, so for example, I know, all right, so with 100 grams of yarn, each of these, let's just pretend it's only 5 colors, each would be 20 grams. If I was dyeing 20 grams before, all of these were done in proportions of 4 drops. And this does have a lid. Because I may not have used this blue before. So therefore, for the blue, I am just going to do 4 drops of the Wilton Colorite Base Blue, which I don't think I actually linked this below, but maybe I did. Am I going to do a true rainbow with red, yellow, pink, orange, blue, purple, green, and blue? I mean, I've done a lot of like I've definitely done some rainbows with both red and pink in there. I've done a lot of different rainbows. So I'm planning on doing like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple tonight. Thank you, Jennifer. That's why I figured the Lego was just like a really easy way to like just show that. Let's see, for red, because I think I want more red than pink. So I think I'm going to go for 4 drops of the base crimson, which is just 3, 4, which is just red number 40. And so for the purple, which we may adjust, is there any in here? No, you look empty. There should be another base pink, I hope. Yes, I have another base pink. Okay, for the purple, I think I'm going to do 3 drops of the base pink. And then 1 of the blue. And this is just a starting point. I meant to be writing this down. I meant to write it down. So that way I can share the recipes in the recap, even though they will blend together a bit. Okay, so R-O-Y-G bit. Purple, not violet. Okay, so 3 pink, 1 blue, 4 blue, 4 crimson, 4 orange, 4 yellow. These ones are easy. So the base yellow, I always mix up yellow number 5 and yellow number 6. But there actually is just a straight orange food coloring, which I've not done color mixing with the orange as the yellow in this kind of way. I do have a video where I did every single, the Color Right line has 8 colors. And I do have a video where I've done every single possible combination of 2 colors. That was part of last year's Summer Mini Skein mini series. Okay, so that's just 4 orange. And then the green. I think we can always add an extra drop of yellow if we need to. Let's start. I can't decide it. No, let's do 3 yellow and 1 blue. And then we can always add more blue if we need to. Okay, now I need a spoon. Okay, and I'm going to mix them. I could have mixed them in a less volume, or in a smaller volume of water, but I figured this would be relatively okay. And so I started mixing these up with the yellow, because if I put a little bit of yellow into the orange, that's not going to affect the color. And same going this way from the orange to the red. And so it's possible that our red could feel a little pink, but we can double up on the amount of dye if we eventually need to. So I'm going to mix up the blue. And then, because I don't mind if there's a tiny more drop, go into the green. So I want it to be like a true green, which I think it is, versus feeling teal. So that is the right proportion that I did. Now our purple, actually that's pretty true to what we see on the picture. Let me get a paper towel so I can show you what our gradient looks like. Because my goal right now is to try to go for the colors showcased My goal was to go for the colors that were showcased in the image itself. And so having done those triangle color mixing exercises with these dyes before, then made that really, really easy. Really easy for me. Let's see. But I also know, oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my haircut. I finally chopped it and, oh man, I'm really glad that I did. Okay. And actually, haha, I can put this there and take this picture. I love coming up with rainbows. So the only one on here that may not read as true at the moment is the purple, because it did break in that little like swatch. And color breaking is when colors separate based on how they're striking to the yarn. But now let's get set up so we can do our self-striping colorway. Where am I going to put you? I guess I can put you right there. Okay, move these up. So I highly recommend, if you do, well, that you try rainbow color mixing, like from the triangle, but also if you don't want to try that, that's also okay. You can refer to my videos on it. So now I need to find my plastic wrap. I don't often, need to move that away. I don't often use plastic wrap anymore. I try to avoid it as much as I can, but when you don't want colors to bleed into one another, it becomes a bit more important. And so I'm not overlapping these exactly. We'll have to see how we're going to lay out our skein. I think what I've done before is I'd go like back and forth and then around. So the colors may not be exactly even. But let's start, and then we can add more plastic wrap to help us try to keep things separate. Trying to divide a skein into 6 equal sections is not easy, but so this is what we're going to do. We're going to try to divide it into thirds, approximately, and then actually we may just do it that way. What's the best way to do this? Okay, I think I'm changing my mind with how I want to lay this out. Unscrunch this. Okay, let's see if we can do something a little different. Okay, so we're going to have I know I need to have you divided into thirds. So we're going to have 1/3 there, 1/3 here, okay, and 1/3 there. No, this doesn't work. I was like, oh, maybe I can do 5 and then have one go up around. Oh, yeah. Okay, so maybe I will go this way. You know what? I'm going to dye it, and then I can rearrange where I have it placed if I need to. So we'll do Oh no, but I still am going to want to go up and around because of the... Oh, okay. I can do it this way. See, this is the kind of stuff that usually happens behind the scenes when I am planning. Okay, so this, the even mark was there. So that's one pile, two pile, pile, approximate pile, and then pile. Okay, so this is kind of the plan. There we go. These are not all going to be the exact same size. If I really wanted it to be the same size, then I should have marked like where everything was before. I should have marked where everything was before laying it out. So if I had marked like midpoints of each of the sections, that would have been easier. But now I have finally. And let me raise the camera up a little bit so then you all can see. There we go. That end. Let's see. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. I was dividing the thirds into halves, but since I want it to go in the like red, orange, yellow order, I had to think about where I placed each of the colors. And so, yeah. Brush. Okay, so I think I want this to be purple. So we did purple, blue, green, yellow. I could put my gloves back on, but we're going to start with yellow. Yellow is the color that we always want to protect the most. You can see that this color, and I'm not sure, I'm probably going to pour eventually, or maybe grab like a syringe or something versus the foam brush. But I can now start applying these colors, and I think I might come in with the syringe. Overall, I want to be careful with the total amount of volume that I add because I did squeeze out most of the liquid. Oh no! Protecting that yellow. I had food coloring on my gloves. Well, you get the real-time mistakes and all. That's okay. We've got some beautiful green and orange speckles in our yellow. Oh dear. But what I was saying is that you don't want to have too much liquid in an area because if the liquid amount starts to get too high, then the colors will bleed onto other sections. So then I can come in with my foam brush and finish applying the color into the spots that I missed. So I know things look like they're sort of scrunched up really tight, but I can move this little section and see where I might need more color, and then I can come back and add more color after I've done all the rest. So that is that. But now let's go ahead and come in for our orange. So the foam brush is good for like very precise application. I really like it for that. It's also good for not adding tons of liquid. So the syringe clearly adds a lot of liquid, but with the foam brush, because it also soaks up some of that liquid, it makes it a little easier to apply some things cleanly. And you can see I did have a reasonable amount of acid in our yarn already, but the colors aren't striking so quickly that we don't have time to add a little bit more. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'll put you in that intermediate. And then I can come in and wipe up color. But yes, I know that in the grand scheme of things, the amount of plastic wrap I'm using is not a ton, but I feel like for a while, a lot of my techniques were so plastic heavy that I then made a decision to try to move away from some of that. So if there's going to be a color that starts to strike pretty quickly, it's going to be our red. And of all the colors, we may end up either using the most volume, or I'm actually going to add another drop. So this is technically the crimson. But red is one of those colors where you definitely want it to be a little bit more saturated. So it is going to probably be a little bit pink. But in order for it to feel more red versus feeling pink, that is why I added another drop. And this is just so much fun. I love dyeing up rainbows. Okay, what did I want? I do want more. And the thing is, if you dye your colors and you decide, gee, dry, the red looks way too muted for me, I really wish that it was more intense. You know, you can always go and add more color just to that section and over dye it. I'm going to bring our purple dye over here. Now the purple, I feel like this does match the purple that we see on our, like it's a bluish violet type purple. It's definitely breaking. I know that the foam brushes sometimes grab the pinks a little differently, but actually, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. So if I start doing the purple in a section, and then I keep going and going and going, as this brush dries, it turns more and more blue because those pinks are striking first and the blues can be spread further. So we will absolutely have color breaking in this purple section. I'm not going for the syringe because I do have the purple more spread out. But that's also because unlike the yellow and the orange that I could squish through, since you can see, I think it's showing up on camera, the colors break a bit just from the application. The way to get slightly, at least, more even color coverage is to apply it slowly in this way. But the reason why we see breaking at all is that the pink is just striking to the yarn way, way, way faster than the blues. And so flipping, you can see even with me sort of like literally painting this on, there's more light patch on this other side than we had with some of these other colors just because of the nature of these purples. But it is reading a little more purple to me as time goes on. Putting a lot of liquid on this. I think that if I wanted the purple to be even brighter, then I should have added a little more pink even. But very quickly, if I add in more blue, then this would look like a deep blue versus a brighter blue. So that shifts pretty fast. Okay. And in the end, we'll see which section has the most color. Because I was trying to approximately divide things up evenly. Now, of all of our rainbow hues, the blue strikes the slowest, and look how bright that is, and the pink strikes the fastest, if anyone is curious. And if you're just tuning in, hello and welcome to the June 2021 ChemKnits Dye-Along live stream. And so don't forget that if you're dyeing along with your rainbows or other Pride-inspired yarn, I will happily accept and feature in the recap. Even though like this is just a rainbow on the photo. But we are also doing a fundraiser tonight for the Trevor Project as part of YouTube's Give with Pride fundraiser, and YouTube is actually matching up to $250,000, and they're paying all of the credit card processing fees for donations. And so there is a donate button at the bottom of the chat. I also have the Trevor Project, their website linked down in my description below. But thank you all so much for helping me support this cause that I care very, very much about. The blue, a little is going a long way. That is very, very pretty, and I am absolutely going to need to mop some of this up. I didn't rinse out my brush when I went from like yellow to orange to red, but I am here because the blue is pretty intense. I feel like the green, I guess I haven't added the liquid yet, but the green section feels big. So if you're curious, oh, I guess I didn't say the fiber content. So this is a super long skein of platinum sock from Wool to Die For. And so it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It comes in this 6-meter skein. Oh, I could have used the syringe. Oh well, forgot that I syringed the other ones. This is a 6-meter long skein, so I didn't have to do any prep at the onset to then allow us to have these really, really long self-striping color repeats. Now, doing 6 colors on a 6-meter skein is going to be really fun, but the color repeats are shorter for sure than if I had done them on, say, like a 12-meter skein or a 24-meter skein. So if you want thicker stripes, you're going to need a larger skein of yarn than the one that I'm using here. And I did already, just because I had color on my gloves, accidentally get color onto the yellow, and so that was totally my fault, and I did that right away at the beginning. So whoops. But now I'm just mopping up a tiny bit of liquid. I am going to steam set this, but I need to set up the steamer basket. I mean, I suppose we could almost stick it in a mason jar kind of setup. Almost, not quite. I can't fit 6 jars in a pan, I don't think. Where's your lid? Oh, is that it? No. Oh, there it is. Okay. Turn this on. I really, really like this. Oh, I need to take a picture before I potentially destroy it. If I had a phone, then I could take a picture. Ah, I do. Oh, funny, I can see some of the like pink from the purple on that plastic wrap. I'll include some pictures in the recap. Did someone say donut? Yeah, that was me. Where's the donut button? I wish I could make a donut button hopping. Oh my goodness. I swear, like my brain this week is not as sharp as I usually feel. Mainly because Ryder's last day of school was yesterday. And so this was our last day at the school where it was both boys their first school, and we've been there 6 years. And so I'm very, very sad about that. Okay. And I know I'm not wearing gloves anymore, but the one I really, really, really want to protect is our yellow. So it is going into its own little extra bubble. Ziplocs could help. I've never quite done that. But Ziplocs could definitely help. I'll have to try that sometime. But there's not a ton of liquid in here. We do have a bunch of leftover dye that we will, of course, use tonight. But yeah, we spent so much time. I'm going to roll this up into like a jelly roll. We spent so much time outside yesterday that I got really sunburnt, which I'm embarrassed by because I've not done that in a very, very long time. So, okay, I think I'm going to put this in my steamer basket like this. And have that yellow a little bit on top, and we're going to go straight in. The colors may bleed, but that is what it is. Where's my lid? Oh no. Okay, so we'll steam this for at least 30 minutes. Set a timer. But of course, this is something that you have seen me in my other food coloring videos. I've definitely microwaved stuff like this. It's just, I don't put my dedicated dye stuff into my microwave. I will put my, yeah, it's like I'll use food coloring with dedicated dye equipment, but then I won't do the reverse. Is that shirts or paint? It's food coloring so they can be reused. Yeah. So I'm using food coloring on wool-based yarn, Baker. You were doing a try-it experiment with mason jars the other day and discovered you could fit 15-quart jars in a catering pan. Ooh, I'm a little nervous about having the jar directly on the bottom versus like inside like the pasta insert or something, but because I'm just like a little nervous about directly applying the heat, but it also could just be fine. Okay, so next up, we're going to dye with some Kool-Aid. But first, I am going to sit down and see if there's any questions. If I can find this is, oh, I can do this. What? Oh. Hi. But yeah, being able to fit 15 jars in a catering pan would be really, really nice. Because I can fit 5 of my small jars in, I'm sorry, I'm not in focus. I can fit 5 of my small jars in my 12-quart pot. Oh, you had a steamer tray in the pan. Ooh, I need to get, the only thing holding me back from getting steamer trays for my chafer pans is that I don't have a good place to keep them yet. We got some shelving that we're going to put up in the mudroom I'm going to take over. So then we have a dedicated spot for things to dry, because I have storage for pots and pans. But the problem is when they're wet, I can't stack them. So we constantly have drying everything around the house. You probably could put water in it and put it in the oven. I don't like using the oven very much, but I think it's also, since I film, it's hard to like show the oven really easily and film in there and like get in and like check and film me doing that. So I think that's probably my big aversion to an oven. I would love to have like one of those proofing cabinets someday, which is functionally an oven, right? And so, yeah, I have not done a ton of oven-based things. Where is this? There we go. But yeah, I am excited. And so when it comes to our Kool-Aid project that I am about to do, we have some choices. I have 300 grams. I'm gonna have to go reduce the heat on my steamer basket in a second. But we have 300 grams of Swish DK, which is 100% superwash merino. And I have six colors of Kool-Aid. And so we could dissolve it and apply it. We could start with some liquid in the pan, and then as we add the Kool-Aid, sort of dissolve it to hand paint with that powder, not going for speckles, but going for whatever effect we have. We could do like the rainbow in order, sort of like the inspiration photo, or I could do those rainbow colors more random. Let me know what you want to see, and I will have fun with the Kool-Aid. Jars may shatter if you put them in the oven. Maybe. That is a concern. Nope. Hi. What do you want? Oh, I forgot that I had. Hi, sweetie. I forgot that I had that like that as I like almost flashed the camera. Whoa, that is hot. Hey, do you need to go outside? He's like, Mommy's not using powder, so I can be out and about. And probably 3, 2, 1 bark, but we'll see. That many jars with water might be too heavy for you to lift safely, potentially. But yeah, do you guys have any... What? Oh, I can hide that now. And I can put myself back to where it used to be. Yeah, do you guys have any preference for, excuse me, how we apply the Kool-Aid? I'm tempted to start with some water on the yarn in the pan, and we're going to do this cold. We'll apply the colors to our satisfaction, and then go and heat it. So yeah, because I could also do, yeah, because I only set up the one camera today on the counter versus one on the counter and one at the stove. I simplified it. Just a little bit for tonight. But, oh, I had that on, so I maybe didn't see all messages. Okay, I have that shifted. And I like having the monitor up at the counter. I really enjoy that. Okay, I am going to start setting up, and so if you have a preference for how I apply the Kool-Aid, let me know. Oof, my old, I'm not that old. Although my kids did ask if I was almost as old as my grandfather. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we've got, let's see if this is on camera. Yes, we are on camera. Kind of like the idea of random since you already started with an ordered skein. I'm sort of feeling that too. Ever dye the dog with Kool-Aid? No. We did once discuss trying to make a GFP dog. So a green, I'll wait till I'm back near the mic. We used to joke about making him a green fluorescent puppy for Halloween, but odds are if we dyed his glorious white fur, it probably wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, they do have, I think, some pet safe dyes. Those do exist, I think, but yeah, his fur is so pretty. Okay. How much water did I fill this pan with? Right now, none. I'm going to add some water. I haven't decided how much to add. For if you're talking about my steamer basket, I filled it with like an inch or so of water. So I think if I'm going to sort of randomly apply the powders, I'm going to want to add, how much do I have in here? Got about 5 cups of water in here. There's no acid in here yet, but we're going to be using Kool-Aid, so we'll have acid from that. So we'll see. And Indy is barking, so I'll go let him in. But you guys can vote. And by vote, just say what you might want to see. Oh dear. Okay. So that was close, almost 5 cups of water. The yarn is very much at the surface. So when we apply the powder, I'll be able to kind of move it through with my hands. Yeah, okay, yeah, the steam pot, I added just a couple inches of water. The only thing with a steam pot that you want to worry about is you don't want it to run dry for the length that you're heating. And if you put too much water in the bottom, then it can take longer to heat up. So those are just the main considerations. You want to go back to Daddy? Go up. Go get Daddy. Go get Daddy. Well, the problem now is that if Keith has air conditioning on in his office, then the dog can't get in because he'll shut the door. You like the idea of random? All right. How about some speckles? I think we will likely get some speckles. I think I want to add a bit of a base color, and then we might add some more on it. My steam pot's no longer for sale? No! I love it. Okay. Salt multi-pot. Gotta search. No, come on. Salt. Wait, no, they still have it. Whoa, they have huge ones. Oh, it's a stock pot. That's it. I was like, so they have a stainless steel stock pot from it, but I don't see the multi-pot. No. That's such a bummer. Well, Calphalon has a stainless steel 8-quart one. That's more expensive than the one I got was. Though I think the one that I had, oh, there's a brand called R Table. Stainless steel covered multi-cooker. But I think that just, oh no, that might be the replacement. But that's a bummer. So yeah, Heather, it looks like at Bed Bath & Beyond they have, oh maybe, I don't know if it might not let me put this link in. So I haven't tried that one, but the pricing seems pretty similar to what I paid for mine. Okay, so I want to randomly add color, and I need to think about how we are going to do this. I don't think I've done this before. Okay, and I don't want our rainbow here to get wet. So my rainbow of Kool-Aid here, these colors are cherry, orange, lemonade, green apple, although I may also have some lemon lime, blue raspberry lemonade, and grape. Those are the 6 colors that I have here. And of these colors, the cherry and the grape are the most pigmented, and the lemonade is the least. Hello, cat lady, welcome. We are dyeing rainbow yarn for the June dye-along and doing a fundraiser for the Trevor Project. Okay. Hello. Okay, let's randomly go in with yellow, and I am less speckles. I'm more just applying this powder in this line. And well, that was one packet. But you can see that our yellow is not that pigmented. I'm going to get another packet. I have no idea what kind of shape I'm going to do. And I have to say, I mean, not that it smells like so much like candy. It's funny because you would expect it to taste sweet, but these have no sugar packets in it. You're going to go you're dyeing your shawl tomorrow. I think steaming would be better than the pan. Yeah. So, to be fair, I haven't tried it, but at the first glance, it did look like it was approximately similar. And a little more yellow down there. Okay. Now, that packet still has more in it. The color, penetration is not that deep. The yellow very possibly will disappear. Let's go ahead and do cherry next, even though it's one of the most pigmented colors. There are times when I've used like 5 times as much lemonade as I have like cherry. And I have no idea if I'm going to keep white left behind. Sort of making this up as I go along. But the reason why I'm going in more diagonal type arrangement is that I don't want to have something pooling here. I want it to be a little more random. And so therefore, by going at a little bit of an angle, that may help with that. And some of the other colors, like with orange, I will layer orange over the red. It's just if I want some of the yellow to stay, that is what my concern is. I don't think I have dyed with Kool-Aid quite like this before. So I am rather excited. I've definitely done like random rainbow colors in a random, the orange really concentrated does not smell as good as some of these other colors. But I'm having a lot of fun. Okay, we've got green. What are you? Green apple. The smell does eventually dissipate, but it can take some time. I'm liking sort of weaving. Feels like I'm like interlocking these colors a little bit. I know eventually it'll get more and more random, but it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, I want to randomly add these, but it's also fun to just see how it goes. Yeah, and so this is just really, really pretty in the pan. And I think I'm going to be okay with white left behind. Some of these colors are going to spread a lot. Others won't. What I have to decide is whether I'm going to heat set it right away or whether I want to heat set it right away or if I want to if I want to heat set it right away or if I want to try to flip it and apply color to the other side. So there's enough water in here that things may spread and blend, but things also might start striking quickly. I am really, really enjoying this. This is so random and fun. And I will say, the lemonade, I used more than one packet. Everything else has been less than a whole packet so far. Poor grape. It's not that purple, unfortunately. You can layer over the green. Oh dear. So pigmented. All right. This isn't getting lines because it'll tone down when I tap it in, hopefully. So I'm just sort of going a little randomly. There we go. So the purple, the grape Kool-Aid, is almost gray. Now, if you're wondering why it doesn't have as much of an impact as our other colors and like why it's not as bright, it's because beverages do not use red 40. Sorry, they don't use red 3, which are those bright pinks on, this is fun. They don't use red number 3, which are those bright pinks in beverages because it crashes out in acidic conditions. And beverages are acidic. There's a lot of citric acid in here, which is why we're not adding additional acid. I am going to attempt to flip and dye the other side now before we heat it. But in doing this, some of the colors are penetrating, some aren't. And so, yeah, I may have to add more color another time, but actually a lot, from when I pick it up and put it down, like the colors are starting to strike just where they are. So that is one of those fun things about Kool-Aid that and superwash yarn. If Kool-Aid knew how much their product you sell, they would come up with a better purple. I mean, yeah, I think that, and hey, Kool-Aid, if you watch this and ever want to sponsor me, that would be fun. I think in terms of cost, you get way, way more bang for your buck using food coloring like Color Right than you do Kool-Aid. Because each of these packets is like 33 cents each. Whereas if you go and do one box of the Color Right, where I use like not that many drops total on our yarn, but if just one packet of the Color Right, or one box. They're all gone. One box of Colorite is, I think, I don't know if it can be $25, but you can often get it at Michael's with like a 40% off coupon. So there is that. Do you use a microwave dedicated for dyeing even food-based dye? No. If I'm using food coloring, I am comfortable using my like cooking microwave for food coloring. But I don't, because it's a little hard to clean, I don't put acid dyes in it because like I can't easily like clean it, because like everything that goes in the microwave has its own like dedicated container. So yeah, when I have space, I would get a dedicated microwave just for, I would buy a microwave just for dyeing yarn for sure. I would love to have that. But we'll see how the summer goes, because with the kids like not in school, my filming schedule is going to be very interesting. So I imagine you'll see, well, by the fall and winter, because right now, like I've filmed a lot of stuff for most of the summer. So there tends to be a little bit of a backlog of when things air versus when I film it. And so, yeah, that's just like the way it is. But so like in the fall, there'll probably be a ton of solar dyeing and cool that. But I do also have plans to do more color mixing videos, more triangle color mixing stuff. And I did reach out after the unboxing to Paradise Fibers, and maybe they'll send me more of their new acid dyes so I can test those out. What color? Oh. Hashtag not sponsored. That's right. This is not sponsored. I've never been sponsored by Wilton, but they are legitimately my favorite. The Colorite system is my favorite to work with because it is so easy to just mix the colors that you want. I don't think I have any other system that is nearly that easy. At least not that I've tried. And I know I still need red, but I'm thinking, I'll try to, oh no, no spilling Kool-Aid. Don't spill the Kool-Aid, Rebecca. Well, this is why I use an IKEA shower curtain to help. Okay. Randomly applying some red. And so a lot of these color sections will be really small, and so might only last like a couple stitches, depending on what you make. This is DK weight yarn. And just completely random. Completely random. So I'm going to go and move this to the stove and start heating it up. It is fairly low immersion. Eventually, I think I will add a little more liquid. And then when it's time for me to flip it inside out to see if I need more color, then I might speckle with what I have left over. The only problem with Kool-Aid is that my gloves are so sticky from using it. Which is funny because there's no sugar in it. So, all right. Woo, my stove is hot. Okay, I'm gonna heat that. But yeah, it was fun to be very, very random. Oh, you know, Kool-Aid. Oh, goodness. Oh, dear. I need to make myself a second single camera thing like this because there's nothing on the counter to really look at right now. So we do have a bunch of leftover food coloring, and I have not pre-soaked any other yarn yet, but I can go and do that. So that way we can use up that extra color that we have mixed. I'm going to hold on to the Kool-Aid in case I need it for this yarn that is over on the stove right now. But I am very, very excited. I like dyeing rainbows. So let me see, I could make a rainbow playlist. Why? Okay, so in case people are curious, if you just search the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel for rainbow, there are a few videos. So here's one actually from last June where I used up, ooh, I like that one a lot. Here's one that I did with acid dyes color mixing based on a triangle color mixing exercise to create a more, like, this rainbow would go really, really well for this dye along. Pastel rainbow. Here is the self-striping with Kool-Aid that I had mentioned. Wait, will you show me the thumbnail again? Yeah, you can see, actually, don't show me an ad. There we go. Here is the swatch of the rainbow skein I did with Kool-Aid, that self-striping. So the stripes that we got today will be really, really similar size. I think this was a size, it's either somewhere between a 1 to 2 knitting needle and maybe 40 stitches across. So not necessarily enough to do a full round on a sock, but you should still get sort of like maybe spiral type stripes going up because they're a little thin. Let's see. Oh, I didn't like that powdered food coloring. Lots of Easter egg dye tablets. Oh, I did a rainbow of Gatorade. Here's another rainbow. Yeah, there's a lot of rainbow videos in all kinds of ways. And I'm going to go turn that off because that's annoying. Okay, and the rainbow is looking rainbow. I still see yellow, which makes me happy. I am going to let that sit, and I'm going to reduce the heat on the other pan. Set a timer for 10 minutes, and then maybe I'll add more water to that Kool-Aid one. Okay, I am going to get a drink of water, and I will be right back. I need to think what we're going to dye with the leftovers. Can get my other steam pan, and I should remove my face cam. Okay, and I need more yarn. When Rebecca's timer goes off and you go to the kitchen to turn the beep off, I mean, I am so used to tuning out the timer that, like, I didn't even really notice it was going off at first. And I was like, oh, right, everyone can hear that. And I do the same thing. I have to edit it out of my videos because it'll just be going off. Oh, I set a new timer. I was like, wait, why is it counting down? That's creepy. All right, I am quickly dipping a skein of yarn into, ooh, I need some acid. I'll go dip it quickly. I dipped it into the pre-soak with no vinegar, and then I debated starting with no acid, but I've come back. Okay, we're gonna bring this into our pan with not a lot of water. I need more yarn. Story of your life. Oh goodness. If I had $1 for every time I said I need more yarn, well, then I would be able to afford all the yarn. Oh man. Oh. Wait. Yes, I'm sorry, if I miss a question, please feel free to let me know. Well, if you need more yarn, Knit Picks does have 25% off bare yarn right now. And it's pretty funny because when I get my commissions, like it pretty much like I spend more than that on yarn myself. Okay. We're set up for Leave No Dye Behind, which maybe we'll steam set, maybe not. It depends on how much color runoff we feel. I have no idea if this will make it all the way through. And I didn't really think about where I was placing it either. I just went for it. That's the thing with like Leave No Dye Behind though, right? Is that sometimes you just go for it. And I can soak it up. And you know what? It's okay if there's white. It's okay. Sometimes I get really, really hung up on white leftover in my projects. And then I feel sad because I really overthink it. But my goal here, and if I wanted the colors to move through a little better, then I should have, if I wanted the colors to move through a little bit more with like kind of penetrating a little better, then I definitely should have not had acid in here at first. And so if you're just tuning in, this is all some food coloring that I mixed at the very, very beginning. And I don't want to leave any of it behind. So we are attempting to use it up without losing all of our yellow. But I'm also not obsessing this time because I am prone to obsessing over the amounts of white I have left in a skein. And so I'm making myself not worry about that this time. Okay, and so here is our purple, which is absolutely going to break. And the one color I'm not going to use all of is the blue because I have so much of the blue left for who knows what reason. Ooh, because of the acid in. So very rarely do I see purples break pink. And it took me the longest time to figure out why that was happening. Sometimes if the acid is high enough, then I will see like it do the reverse of what I expect. But here is Hopefully that showed up. I can't tell. Yeah, here is this bonus using almost all the color except for that blue. And now, I think I can do a few things. I can take our self-striping out of the pan. Ooh, it's still warm. It's right here, so I'm not going to unwrap it yet. But what I am going to do is not wrap this and put it straight into the steamer basket. And we will see what happens. But I feel like a lot of the color has struck already, so that should be pretty good. Then we have this, and okay, I'm going to set you there for now. When the gloves get too wet, then I can't really move easily. Okay, my other timer is about to go off. I am going to add some water onto that Kool-Aid pan. I'm just going to add 3 cups of water. And I will say I don't see those colors really moving at all. The colors are very, very well set for our random Kool-Aid colors that don't look muddy, thankfully. Let's see. Cool. So now I will set this timer for 30 minutes. So I still have the blue, I still have the Kool-Aid. And then I could pick more yarn and pre-soak, but ooh. But yeah, so it's fun, but I always want, I need my face. I enjoy trying to think of doing something a little bit different from what I've done before. But I also have no qualms about doing, like, when I was showing those videos, I have no qualms about doing some of these over and over again. Oh, the June. Oh, I've done it on acrylic. Wait, I saw one. Where were the recaps? No? Huh. I saw them when I was scrolling. Oh well. Oh, here they are. This was June 2019, which I think I did food coloring and acid dyes. And then this was the June 2020, where I did a lot of different, like I had 3 different sets of rainbows. So that was very, very fun. But let's see. Hello, hello. Thank you. Yeah, and so the reason, like, part of me today really, really wanted to go and pull my fluorescent acid dyes. Okay, focus on the face. No, I'm right here. There we go. I really wanted to go and pull my fluorescent acid dyes. Those are some of my favorites to work with in the whole world. I actually have a bunch of videos coming up that do feature some, that definitely feature some fluorescent rainbows that I am super excited about. I think including, did I put it up on my main grid? Oh, including this one. Like I'm really, really excited about this one. And this was 2 sock blanks. So there's like in the middle, so there's like 1 sock blank on this side and 1 on that side. But yeah, but then I realized, like, I know that for people who are just starting out, acid dyes can be really, really intimidating. And I got my start dyeing yarn with food coloring. And what I should have said at the beginning is that the most important thing for dyeing yarn with food coloring is that you need a protein-based yarn. Unfortunately, this won't work on 100% acrylic, polyester, or on plant fibers like cotton and linen. You need a wool-based yarn. However, you can do as little as 20% wool, 80% acrylic. That's the yarn base I first dyed many, many years ago when I was a lot younger. A lot younger. Hello, hello. And so, yeah, so you need to have a protein-based yarn. Wool works best. And then you need to have acid, which we have vinegar, or you have citric acid, and then you need heat. And so today I'm both doing immersion, putting the pan directly on my stove and heating that, and we're also steam setting. But yeah, the rainbow colors on these palm fronds isn't really coming through. I tried, but yeah, it does remind me of the zebra yarn that I've been dyeing lately. I love that. I actually also have some yarn with, like, I don't know if it's a whole rainbow, but there are rainbow colored neps that I haven't dyed yet, which I considered pulling down, but I wanted to just really go for it. And so the inspiration photo being with light and food coloring, I was like, well, I should do food coloring so that way, like, more people might feel inspired to try this if they're nervous. Because I know, like, when I started dyeing yarn, I got really nervous when it came to commercial dyes and trying things that weren't food safe at home. And so I think if you go back to the beginning of Dye Pot Weekly, you could hear some of that nervousness in my voice. I have to go, like, reduce the heat on my steamer basket. Oh, and let's check in. No, I don't have a metal spoon. I'm gonna peek. Ooh. You know, there's white in the middle of these Kool-Aid dyed yarns, but I think I'm gonna leave those as they are and embrace a tiny bit of white. There's pretty good color penetration. So I'm gonna add to that, I think, 8 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I know there's citric acid in there, but this will add a little more. I feel like things are very well set, but it doesn't hurt to give it a little bit more time. And you can reuse the water, the citric acid water, over and over from Kool-Aid. I've definitely done that before. So we've got some Kool-Aid packets. I don't know if I have another lemonade open, but I'm going to soak a little more yarn, and maybe we'll do some speckles. With that Kool-Aid that we have, and I know my face cam is still up. I love having a monitor that I can see. So with the exception of the self-striping yarn, most that I have right up here, most of the yarn that I'm dyeing today is Knit Picks Swish DK, which is 100% superwash merino. And I'm going to I'm going to pre-soak it in some vinegar because I sort of just tossed one of the skeins into the pan that I had some acid in. So may as well do both. But I'm going to add all the water for my other pre-soak. There's citric acid in the Kool-Aid, So you don't really need extra acid, but it doesn't hurt to have extra acid. Okay, I'm gonna let that pre-soak for a little bit and I'll come sit down and chat. Oh, I remember what I wanted to do. I wanted to add, if this will hopefully focus on my face, color right. Where is my control? All right, I am adding my affiliate link to Wilton Color Right on Amazon to the video description. And then I also have links there to the, yay, I'm glad you made it too. Adding some links down below to, in the video description to the sales. But there are also links down there under the, it's a little further down today, the affiliate links for the summer sale. So the Knit Picks in the Week Crochet Summer Sale, which until the 20th is 25% off a lot of the bare yarn. That's like down a few paragraphs, and the items used in this video were frequently used. I put that further down below. But we are, a little reminder that in the chat at the bottom, there is a donate. I'm going to say donut again. There is a donate button because I am joining YouTube's, I'm joining YouTube's Give with Pride fundraiser tonight for the Trevor Project, an organization that that supports LGBTQ and questioning youth and gives them someone to talk to, and it's something that I really, really strongly support personally, and so I'm really happy to help and join this fundraiser. YouTube is matching the first 250K that not just me, I don't think I would get anywhere close to that, but that all YouTubers who are joining this fundraiser raise, and they're covering all of the credit card processing fees. So 100% of your donation will go to the Trevor Project. And you can donate, I have linked in the pinned comment Trevor Project's website directly, but if you go directly through their website, YouTube will match that one. But if you do donate through YouTube, you do get a receipt that you can use for tax purposes and things like that. So that is that button down below. And let's make sure. Sorry, just checking something. Yeah, but I thank you all for contributing to this fundraiser. You think I might need a snack? Yeah, clearly I need to order some donuts later. I think that trying to say donate button, I think because I'm thinking like donate and then button, and then I go donut. I don't know why. I don't have a lot of practice. But I'm just letting this other yarn pre-soak for a little bit longer, and then we will use, we'll probably opening a new packet of lemon Kool-Aid, but we'll use the rest of the Kool-Aid that I have, and we'll speckle onto the yarn. Words are hard, yeah. I definitely trip over words. I really struggle with reading out loud as well. That is something that, yeah, I technically have some like processing thing where like I got tested once, and I scored really highly for problem solving, and then a lot less for like memorization based things. So like I can do, well, I don't know if I could still do calculus stuff, but I could ace like a calculus type section, but then on an arithmetic where you're supposed to go as fast as possible, I made loads of mistakes because, yeah, that is not a strength of mine for sure. But yeah, so the analytical side always helped. And then especially as, I've mentioned this before, but I have chronic fatigue syndrome. And so as the fog gets more dense at the end of the day, my brain processes a lot slower. But I am still able to do things like dye yarn and knitting and stuff because, like, especially with knitting, it's like one stitch at a time and you don't necessarily need to think multiple rows ahead. You just finish one row and then you see what the next row is and then the one after that. And so then it's something that even when I've had like some bigger flare-ups that I've been able to do. And so it's really been like a really crafting has been something that has been very, very helpful for me over the years. You think the faster you talk, so words get jumbled with you all the time? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was like down to here. And I'm blurry again. It was, yeah, down to here. But thank you. I'm not used to it yet. I mean, this feels more me because pre-pandemic I had my hair around this length more, but you know, it's been long for like over a year. So, all right, let's see. Let's go peek at this self-striping yarn. Oh, hi, I'm still here. When I have the two cameras set up. Okay, I've got to make sure, yes, we are on. Okay, it is still warm, but the yellow looks good. The yellow looks good. I guess I don't want to go too deep. That's so pretty. Part of me wants, oh, it's still very warm. I don't want to open it yet. It's very, very, very hot to touch. Only a little bit is cool. Goodness. And I think, so we've got that little bit of blue, and I'm totally about to sneeze. All right, I think that we'll go ahead and we'll speckle. I'm going to wipe this pan out, and then we will put the yarn in here and do our a little bit random, like rainbow speckling onto the yarn, but have it in the pan. It won't be as spread out as normal, but it will be sort of contained, and then I can transfer it into my steamer basket once, ooh, that's so cool looking. We're done with that other random rainbow yarn that we have. But I know people have been asking for some self-striping type stuff, and so it's fun to do one of those. Because I really I wanted to do about like a million different colorways. And then when I was thinking earlier today, I was like, man, oh, I could maybe do a second stream, but the Summer Mini Skein mini-series is going to start on Sunday. So I don't really have time to do another stream in June, which is wild that June is almost over. Oh, and of course, Monday was my last day where I had both kids in school. And then, of course, like Tuesday, like around lunchtime was when my Dharma dies arrived. So I'm hoping that I can figure out how to get the Die Pot PS out in time this month. So I'm like struggling to get the glove on. And my hands are damp. Okay. So I don't have a lemonade open yet, but we'll start with like the colors that we have. And I am planning to sort of randomly go for this. I'm debating. I may not open another lemonade packet. Lemonade speckles do not show up very well at all. So I might skip it. Yeah, I think even doing this like speckled colorway that I'm doing, I think that I might end up with leftovers, and whatever's left over, I may just, we've got all that blue right there, which, oh yeah, you can see the blue. I don't know what we'll do. The thing I have to remember with doing speckles like this, when I get a tiny bit in my hand, I'm just rubbing my hands together and it's going wherever it goes. I will want to flip this a couple times. There's not that much liquid in here, but I'm going to want to flip it because the colors are only going to go through like one layer. So, ooh, the orange, it's been a while, and I'm definitely going a little heavier now. The orange feels very, very much finer than the grape and cherry do. It feels like less gritty. Oh, I started to say earlier, I do have some videos where I made my own sugar sprinkles and out of food coloring and use that to speckle onto yarn. And that is something that I absolutely recommend, just because I know that when it comes to Kool-Aid, especially if you're not in the US, it can be really hard to find. So if you can't find Kool-Aid, you can take like basically a little bit of sugar and then some drops of liquid food coloring, and then, or even like a gel food coloring, and then make a really, really nice powder for speckles. You know, it's so funny doing this because I barely see. They're there, but you barely see the blue and the green. Yeah, and so for all you tend to need a lot of Kool-Aid packets, a little goes a long way. Is there a pineapple? There's a mango, but I've never seen it in person. So therefore, does it actually exist? I do not know. No, I believe that the mango does exist. I've just never seen it myself. Because yeah, lemonade is like not pigmented at all. Like I was like, I could open, I was like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to open it because it just won't, it won't show up. So that's a fair amount of some cherry. So I do try to spread things out a bit so that way maybe some of the granules will fall through some of these layers of yarn. And I did have a video where I tested speckling with, oh my gosh, look at that red on my gloves. I did try speckling with the sugar Kool-Aid tub, and the colors aren't quite as bright. just in case you're curious about that. Yeah, so this is going to be a very dominant, like, red, orange, and grape with then some hints of blue and green. I did speckle with, I mean, when I'm speckling with Kool-Aid, I think grape is probably the color I use the most, just because it's the closest to like a black that I have. But I do have some videos recently where I speckled with, was it green apple or was it lemon lime? I speckled with one of the greens that exists. You think the mango is regional. You've seen it, but you're in California. I wonder what adding a drop of color white to the Kool-Aid powder would do. The Kool-Aid powder is so fine that I think it would clump. I think, yeah, or it would like dissolve. So I'm not sure. It could be worth trying, but honestly, I think it would be more worth, versus trying to apply it with the Kool-Aid. I would say it, maybe mix, some food coloring with sugar and then blend that with the Kool-Aid powder. I think that that's what I would do. Because I think that that could bring some fun. This is like, I don't think I was planning to go this heavy. Not that I think you can see all the specks, but it's heavier than I thought I would go. And I'm rinsing off my gloves before I come in and touch the yarn. Because if I didn't rinse the gloves off, then I would add like red spots and streaks to everything. And so I'm opening this up. I'm not, I don't want to stress about like huge white areas or white patches. That is something that I tend to be like, let's not have too many. Like there will be some, and that is okay. That is okay. Wait, why did you do that, camera? Oh, the one I'm looking at is a delay. Is it still out of focus? Yeah. Hello? Has it been out of focus for long? Well, like trying to. Hello. Why don't you focus? That is annoying. Camera control, focus. Why are you not auto-focusing? There we go. It's like, oh, I forgot how to focus. Sorry, I hope it wasn't like that for long. All right, let's see how much is left. Still a lot. And all the things I've mixed all together, well, actually, I guess I know what would happen if I mixed all of my Kool-Aid together. We'd probably get like a brownish red. Kool-Aid has so many red colors compared to everything else. What color are you? Blue? So a lot more. See, that still feels like so much powder. Because the problem is if like I dump it too heavy, then it won't really feel like speckles. It'll feel like a wash of color, which to be honest, like is how a lot of this might be going at this stage. I don't really know where we're headed. All I know is that we're eventually going to steam set this. And then I'm going heavier and heavier because I am tired and it's been a very long week. But I did get, where's the grape? I did get some books, and then we'll probably get some more books for Juneteenth this weekend because the kids don't have, well, Lucas doesn't have school tomorrow because of Juneteenth. What? Did I do the cherry yet? I think I haven't done the green yet either. So, if anyone's looking for kids book resources, I recommend a kids book about. They've got some really great ones that have been really helpful, and they're sort of written in the like book with no pictures style with text, but so the kids really like emote with it because they just sort of they're used to that style, and they have them on all kinds of different topics. So I know that's not yarn related, but I try to have as much diversity in our picture book library as I can, and often rely on books to help me share various things. Okay, so this is very random and speckly, and oh my gosh, the timing is perfect. But I can't keep these gloves on anymore. They're so, like, wet. Okay, I have a phone. I think I have not been updating my Instagram stories right now. But I have a bunch to update after. Let's turn that off for now and yes, I can get the timer faster, and I need tongs. Uh-oh, where are my tongs? It's like the stacks of things drying all over the house. But I would say that this guy worked pretty well. Yeah. Came out really pretty with that food coloring we mixed. I suppose technically we mixed 2 of the colors. The rest of the colors, and I'm going to go transfer this into the steamer basket. And then I think we're going to use up everything we have left and see what color it is. But yeah, I have stacks of things drying all around. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's get some water. And we're going to get a skein of Swish. And we are going to randomly play with everything that we have left. I could save the Kool-Aid, but okay, so we've got dry Swish, and we're going to start, actually, let's use some of this water with vinegar. From our pre-soak. Okay. And I'm going to add this. So again, this yarn is still currently dry.
It's going to soak stuff in slowly. I'm rinsing out with some water that does have some vinegar these cups. Oh my God, I just poured water on the counter. You can almost see a little bit of pink staining in this purple. That is so funny. Okay, and okay, I'm gonna probably dye my hands, but right now we just got pastel, but there is, you can see there is color from that Kool-Aid that we had in here already as well. And that blue I want to add towards the end. But I think I have no idea what color. That's a lot. The cherry is pigmented. We are making this up as we go along. This one is going to end up potentially, like if we're going to get mud, this is where it would happen. I mean, some of this yarn is still dry. But then we're about to layer blue on top of everything. So if you mix, if you want a nice brown, you can mix grape and orange. I know this looks really, really weird, but just go with it. And I've given up on having undyed hands. Ooh, you know what this reminds me of? Lucas made a hat and he dyed yarn and he wanted like pink, purple, and orange. And this is very, very much the color of that hat that I made with one of the first yarns that Lucas ever dyed with Kool-Aid. That, oh my gosh, that was not my computer. Good. Okay, but we still got some green. No, we've got blue. Oh, we've got loads of blue. Okay. I'm not that dyed yet. This is the moment of the night where we come with everything and throw it all together. And the reason why I'm not that worried as of yet with what I'm doing here is that I've got all of this blue that I'm going to add to it. And I'm a little excited about that. So I do think I want a bit more water. Coming to my other pre-soak. That's a bit more water. And this is because I think I want, either way I'm adding the same amount of blue. But if I had less water in here when I added the blue, then it would be more concentrated at one spot. But if I have it more mixed up and then come in and add the yarn, now we can have the blue sort of go more all over everything. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. This one is very, very random. A little muddy. A little bit muddy, but should be pretty fun. I wonder if the orange will still feel orange or if it'll feel brown. And because I'm curious, oh, my hands aren't that dyed. Oh, I never turned the steamer basket back on. Oh dear. But yeah, this is my aquarium everything
all those leftovers together, all in one pan. See what happens. Because sometimes you can save things, other times I'm just like, let's see what happens. Oh no, oh no. But the cool thing, as I come and try to set up, no. The cool thing about that is that as I was adding all these colors, you could see how quickly they were striking to the yarn. And not all dyes do that. Earlier on, I said a lot of the techniques that I'm doing today can translate really well from food coloring to acid dyes. And while that is true, acid dyes don't necessarily strike as quickly as we see some of this food coloring. And the blue, there's still blue in the pan up there. I will take it to the stove and heat set it once I'm done steam setting that speckly yarn that we did. So when that finishes, then I have a spot on the stove opens up, and then I'll move that over there and heat set it and let it cool. So that's what I'm going to do with that. But how did I do that with my foot? But yeah, sometimes it's just fun to see how everything layers together and how much things spread or don't spread. I have definitely, like, sort of with paper clips closed off packets of Kool-Aid to reuse at a later date. I will say I definitely used less Kool-Aid than I was expecting. But what we did, 4 different rainbow colorways, and then this one, all with food coloring. So you can have just as varied techniques with food coloring as you would with acid dyes. It's just with acid dyes you have more pigments available, and so therefore you can go and do those more wild rainbows that are neon and fluorescent and things like that. And so I do hope to film more rainbow videos like that coming up. As I mentioned with my with my Instagram, I have things like this that are coming up. It's not on the schedule yet, but yeah, it's something that will be on the schedule like soon. Actually, I think it's like a last minute lab partner, but it's one I'm going to pull out. You wonder if that's the citric acid in the Kool-Aid that helps it strike? Yes. Oh, that's definitely part of it. The citric acid in the Kool-Aid, so there's a lot of citric acid in there, and ultimately each packet of Kool-Aid doesn't have that much color. So a similar volume of acid dye is going to have a lot more pigment. So I think that that is a huge consideration for sure. Powdered root beer. Huh, I wonder what is in it, because I guess I've never tried powdered root beer. I guess we've done like, we used to get powdered like crystalite iced tea and lemonade, and then we would combine them, and we would call it like hole in hole, because we would do like 1 volume of water with double the amount of mix, and then we would dilute it. So we'd turn it into half and half. We'd mix hole in hole, and then we'd dilute it by half to make half and half. But I never tried either of those. Maybe I tried Crystal Light, not the lemonade once, but I don't remember if the tea was like brown because of tea or if they had food coloring in there. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm really, really excited, and thank you all. Thank you so much to everyone who donated for the fundraiser tonight. I don't know if the donate button will remain, so if you're watching the replay, if it's still there, but if the donate button is still there, please go ahead and join with this with this Give with Pride challenge to support the Trevor Project, or I do have a link to their website in the video description, so you can go to the Trevor Project directly and support them. It is a really, really wonderful organization, and it's one that I've been really proud to support for a long time. And YouTube is matching all of the donations and covering payment processing fees, and so that is really, really awesome. And so even though like I had donated directly through the Trevor Project website earlier this week, I did also donate through my donate button down below, so that way YouTube would match the amount that I donated. So yeah, so thank you to everyone who also contributed. I really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you tuning in. And so if you want your yarn to be featured in the dye-along recap, please submit it on Instagram using the hashtag ChemKnitsDyeAlong. You can see it over there, and actually it's in the title of this video as well. Or you can go to the ChemKnits Facebook page and look for this inspiration photo and reply with a photo comment, and then I will pull as many of the pictures as I can. But I did also mention so while the theme is officially rainbows, just to like honor and support Pride Month, but even though we didn't specifically dye colorways based on any of the other Pride flags, if you would like to dye yarn inspired by any of the other Pride flags and share that, I will happily share those in the recap as well. So here is a by Pride flag that I dyed the yarn for and crocheted for someone that I care about a lot this year. I didn't film it, but I do have, I mentioned this at the beginning, I do have the dyeing notes on my Instagram. So if you would like to replicate these colors, I did this with acid dyes. Yeah, I'm happy to share projects like that in the live stream recap, which will come out mid-July. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that so the Quiet Queers Craft Along, and there's a website and their Instagram down below. They have a lot of makers, both yarn, fiber, notions, and knit and crochet designers that identify as LGBTQ. And so that's a great resource if you want to support during Pride Month some makers and small businesses to also help support Pride. And so I thought that this is a really good resource that I found like this week. And so I really wanted to share it with all of you. So yeah. You tried the black beans that you had done in a video for cold and you got a mid blue. Heated, you got a dark blue. Didn't boil. Oh, interesting. So I mean for the gray I got. Well, the gray I had no mordant, I think, for the gray. Yes, Kool-Aid is hard to get in New Zealand, but if you can get food coloring and some sugar, check out my DIY sprinkles videos for getting fun speckles to play with just food coloring and stuff. And oh dear, ow. Okay. Yay, Kool-Aid strikes so fast. But yeah, this is not, it's fun. It's very very random, very much like, let's leave no dye behind, throw everything together, because I am, the fog is setting in. Fog is setting in. Oh. You can see the setup of oh. I mean, I like my kitchen, but it's not setting up so the computer can be near the cameras and then all that. It's hard. You used alum mordant. Yeah, the gray that I got when I was dyeing with black beans is when I tried it with no mordant at all. When I used the alum mordant, I got either like a blue or a purple with black beans. So I think there's two different videos. The first time I tried no mordant, and then the second time I used an alum mordant. But anyway, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, and I'm so excited to see all the yarn that you create. Last June, man, it was so much fun. I love seeing your rainbow colors and your rainbow yarn, and it's fun to see, with a rainbow inspiration, we can go very literal based on this image and sort of a gradient. Or there's so many ways you can play with these colors and still have rainbow yarn. And so I think one of the reasons why I love doing these dye-alongs is that you can see some ways that I interpret the photo, but then you can see how other people interpret it too, and whether it is sort of a literal interpretation or something more broad or random or loose. And it's just really, really fun to see how from one photo you can get so many different types of yarn. Oh, you're a textile design student. That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. Yeah, so it's my absolute pleasure to do this. And yeah, I love dyeing yarn, and I love sharing that. And so thank you all so much for all of your support, for tuning in to this stream, and please subscribe to the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel. And again, I hope that you will also join me in giving with pride, or give with pride. I'm not good with hashtags today. And so hopefully, I forget how many days are left. Do I have it pulled up? Like live now. How many days? There's 12 days left for the fundraiser. And so hopefully they will get there, so then YouTube will donate a lot as well. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. And tomorrow morning, there will be another Die Cut Weekly episode that is actually like a part 2 from Tuesday's video. And then on Sunday night, the Summer Mini Skein mini-series starts. So you'll be potentially seeing a lot of me over the next week. And I'm really excited, and I hope you are too. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will chat with you all soon. Bye! Good night, everyone.